The Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads. More sales. More predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carley, marketing and outsourcing expert.
G'day over there, everybody. Welcome to the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show for the 24th of September, 2021. I'm here with the wonderful Serena, and finally we click live on this one as well, right, Serena?
I know. That was really funny. We went through the whole thing again, and then you just come back on and said, oops, I forgot to click live.
I'll put that down as a blonde moment, I think. I'll claim that one, that card. So, guys, on today's episode, you guys know the drill. If we add some value to you in some way, shape, or form, all we ask is you just share the show. We don't actually run any types of marketing through this. We don't run any paid ads on this show or anything. We could, but we don't. So if you guys we add some value to you in some way, shape, or form, just share the show. That's all we ask. Nothing to pay. We're here 2 times a week. This week, only one, due to a few things sorted for the Ultimate Business Bootcamp this weekend as well, which you guys do not want to miss. If you haven't registered for the bootcamp yet, it is just in the links. It is going to be epic. 2 full days talking about marketing, branding, sales, conversions, email marketing. We've got a couple of guest speakers coming in as well this weekend. 2 full days, 12 hours worth of content, the Ultimate Business Bootcamp. Make sure you register. It's just in the comments. Anyway, today, guys, what I want to do is talk to you about how do you go about breaking through the noise. There is a lot of people, that are doing the same thing as you in business, and they have larger budgets, right? If they can outspend you, they are definitely outspending you in the marketplace, right, when it comes to advertising. So how do you go about cutting through that noise? And especially when somebody has such big budgets. And I know for a fact, people have larger budgets than us, yet client acquisition is never a challenge for us in any way, shape, or form. So it just goes to figure, like when there's some companies that have, millions of dollars a month in ad budgets, and, if you guys only have like 500 or 1,000 to start with as an advertising budget, how do you cut through the noise? How do you get to the client first? How do you become the person that the client actually wants to do business with? Because, if there's these other bigger companies around you that are spending heaps more, no doubt they have a bigger sales force, means they'll be able to get to the leads a lot quicker, all this type of stuff, right? Which is all a very important part of the conversions process, which we're going to be talking about at the Ultimate Business Bootcamp this weekend as well, because this is the thing. You can spend a lot of money on marketing and get no conversions. And what does that mean for your business? Diddly squat, 0. Serena, in terms of cutting through the noise when some people have bigger budgets than you, right? Is it possible for someone to be able to cut through if they've got like $500 for an advertising budget and someone else is spending $1 million a month? Is it possible, do you think?
To cut through faster, you mean?
To cut through and acquire clients when someone's got millions of dollars a month worth of budgets and you've got $500 a month in budgets, right, for marketing. Is it possible to cut through the noise?
Of course it is.
To get to the client.
Of course it is.
Of course.
And you can even probably do 500 is a really good starting point. Sometimes some people may not quite, have that with all that's been happening. So they can definitely work with a little bit less, and it may take a little bit longer because obviously Facebook looks at that. They look at how much you're spending, and they may take a while to sort of tweak what they want for you. But, the more you start with, the quicker it gets there as well.
Exactly. Obviously, if you have got bigger budgets than that, it's desirable to be able to invest more into your marketing. However, if you've only got small budgets to start with, and this reminds me of a conversation I had earlier in the week with one of our clients, right? She's going to be speaking at the Ultimate Business Bootcamp about this as well this weekend. And when we started working together with her at the start of 2020, she had a budget of $9 a day. That was her budget. What's $9 a day times 30, Serena? It's like less than $300.
You're 270.
Yeah. So very even smaller than 500 that we're talking about. But and this is the thing. It doesn't matter what your budget is for marketing to start with, because everyone starts with a very small budget. But once you flip that money into a little bit more, and then you flipped it into a little bit more again, and then you flipped it into a little bit more again, that's when you start having bigger budgets. If you got $1 coming in and $3 coming out, you can continue to spend. You continue to up your spend. If you spend 100, you make 300, right? You put that 300 back in, and then you get 900 out. And then you put that 900 in, and then you'll get around 3 out, and it will start to scale from there. This is kind of the math with it, right? Like, you're setting a budget that is separate to your business's revenue, okay? Which, a lot of companies have a tendency to spend around 10, maybe 15% of their total revenue on marketing, okay? So some of you might be at that point. Some of you might not be at that point, but you might set aside a budget of some sort to invest into your sales and marketing, or to invest into your physical marketing itself to be able to acquire more clients. And it doesn't matter what you start with as a budget. You can start with absolutely anything. As I said, one of our clients that started with us started last year, $9 a day, $270 a month. Very small budget. And, there's people in the industry, the exact same industry in beauty. I mean, the beauty industry is worth, I think, like 14 billion. I think that's just Australia or something like that alone. So people have a lot, a lot of these beauty brands and Maya and all these other companies that spend huge amounts of money on marketing and, millions of dollars every single month. It's like, how do you break through the noise? Even bigger franchised companies, right? They've built a whole company of multi tens of millions of dollars, right? And they spend huge amounts in marketing to be able to acquire more clients. So what I'm saying here is this is possible for you as well. It doesn't matter what your budget is. It's possible for you on whatever budget you've set for yourself at the moment to be able to acquire new clients. But the key is just around getting started. One big thing that I'll say, and this is my first tip for you guys today, and Serena's going to be given some as well very shortly. The first tip you got to really do some work on when it comes to marketing is you got to look at what's your value differentiation. Why are you different to this big crowd? Okay, and there's fours and not fours on both sides as well, by the way. The big company's going to be saying, look, we have more data, we have more resources, we've been around longer, all these types of things they'll say. And yours might be, we care more, we're smaller, we're a lot more personable, we can give you a lot more time than what they do. There's fours and not fours on both ways. But when it comes to differentiating yourself, that's not just the only way that you must differentiate yourself. It all comes down to the value that you provide in a marketplace. Take this show, for example, 2 times a week. We're coming at you guys with education 2 times a week. Education on exactly things that you can do and implement to be able to generate leads online, to be able to generate sales, convert more deals online, value differentiation, and your true value in a very specific marketplace as well. For example, you could just be a business that serves women, or you could just be a business that serves males, and that's it. and maybe it's only males in their 30s, or it's only women in their 30s. And that's like how you are differentiating yourself in the marketplace. And then it's the offer that you provide to that specific marketplace that can really capture their attention. I'll give you guys an example. So it's also commonly known as niching down. Some people call it niching down. But let's say, for example, you're selling a training program for sales professionals, and it was, on time management for sales professionals, for example. I mean, that's very broad. But it's a very specific thing. It's time management, and it's for sales professionals. Then, if you take it a level down, it's time management for business to business sales professionals, right? So you've gone a level down, and further level down would be, time management for business to business tool sales companies, salespeople. They're selling power tools and all these types of things. So you've kind of like, niched yourself right down to a very specific marketplace that can buy your product or service. Now, your offering is around creating something that is different to the rest. You can create some differentiation by being completely niched down. You can do something differently by articulating your headline slightly different. And we've tested a lot of this in the years that Business Warriors has been around too. And, we've looked at a lot of the clients that we've attracted and what our clients are after, and specific marketplaces, what they're after as well. And we've changed headlines over the years and found that some have worked so much more effectively than others. And we've worked out now how to, attract $1 million business owners very, very easily through our marketing, just by changing headlines and how we're articulating what it is that we do for people, which makes a huge difference. Because what you can do is you can say one thing one way in a marketing campaign and say it in another way. Both of them will produce very different results. So if you're looking at a lot of the marketing that you're creating right now and your landing pages and all these different things that you've done and created, it's attracting a certain type of person. But if you were to change it and articulate it slightly differently, you'll find that you'll get a completely different result. What's that?
No, I'm just laughing at your new call tone on your phone. And I'm going to put it out there. Your mum said that your mouth wasn't moving there for a while. And I said, that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, meanwhile, you guys are having a great conversation there in the background.
Yeah.
Anyway. So you guys have got to look at different ways to be able to say things, how to say things slightly differently when you're marketing. You got to look at your headlines and you got to go, okay, cool. How can I articulate things slightly differently to what I am doing right now? Because a large percentage of people with very, very small attention spans, right? We're talking 7 to 8 seconds is the attention span of a person these days online. So, in 7 to 8 seconds, you're not going to read much of an advertisement. But in saying that, you've still got to have longer form copywriting and things like that through it, because that's what, when you get that person that goes through and has read every single word, you've now got yourself a super highly qualified person that's come through your advertisement as a result. The people that kind of just
unless they're another advertiser and they're trying to see how you do your ads as well. But most importantly is the top of the ad. When you're talking about the 8 seconds and everything, it's like the above the fold of a web page, the title, the headline, and everything like that. That is where you have to catch them with that, and then you carry on with the rest of it.
Yes, 100%. And these are the things that you guys have got to be looking at. And to cut through the noise isn't an easy task. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and everyone would be making no money. So it's never easy. It's just we've got to become better and we've got to do things slightly differently to be able to get different results with the way that we are marketing ourselves. And it doesn't matter, as I said, it doesn't matter what your budget is.
You know,
Does not matter.
and that's the same thing. It goes with that saying, if you keep doing what you've always been doing, and it's, and obviously you want to get something more, otherwise you wouldn't be looking for something more, but usually you have to when you get stale, then you'll never do any different to what you're doing. So, there's things, I look at people, sometimes they're a bit too scared to spend a few dollars on Facebook. And it's like, I just don't think they actually see that by doing what needs to be done, and you're talking about the difference in the varieties of the amounts being spent, get yourself a little budget to start, because the minute you start the momentum going and you see the clients coming in, the spend amount will be a heap less than the incoming amount, as long as you've got all your, all your ducks in a row, for example. So as long as you've got your stuff set up so that there's the follow-on, the value, you can't just put ads out there and have them come into the business and then you just don't know what to do with them. You let them float around or drown on their own. So you have to have your system as well set up to follow on from the ads. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
100%. It's, I had a conversation earlier this morning with a gentleman, and generates a lot of leads, does really, really well. Actually had a couple of conversations today about it, and getting a lot of leads, getting sign-ups, but at the same point in time, you can always do better, because this could just be the X scenario where on this side, we're just saying something a certain way, we're getting X result, but over here, we just say something slightly different, we can get XXXXX result as well. And these are just, they're very, it's like marketing 101. This is really this conversation today. Cutting through the noise is marketing 101. You got to go back to the basics of, lead generation, marketing, foundations. These types of things can make a huge difference. It's like your offerings, right? If you have guarantees attached to your offerings, I mean, things like this can reduce risks for end users, right? To get them to make a decision a lot faster by having things like that in your offerings as well. So you could be saying something as X, right? Now, but then you add a guarantee to X, and all of a sudden it's now 4x'd the amount of inquiry coming through, and it's 4x'd the amount of revenue coming from those campaigns just by slightly articulating it differently. And these are the things that you guys have got to be working on to be able to cut through the noise, because as I said, it doesn't matter what your budget is, as long as the foundation's strong, as long as the system's in place, as long as you are consistent as well, by the way, you'll get there. I'll give you an example. One of our gym clients across in Queensland, that started with us at the start of the month. They'd been running a few other marketing campaigns, and they were generating leads for like $80, $90, $100, that type of stuff for their gym. And I was looking at a lot of the ways that everything was done, and it was done well, okay, but it was the exact same as offering as anyone else around in the whole entire marketplace. And then when we took over the ads, things didn't go well to start with. Okay, so we'd reduced the ad cost, but it still wasn't performing the same way that we saw every other campaign that we've ever run for a gym. So after the first week, we were generating leads at about $50, $60, which is pretty high. Then we did a few tweaks and we actually got it below 30. And then we did a few more tweaks, which is the third level of testing, which we've got to now as well. And we've got a campaign converting at $6.17 per lead. And, from where it was to where it is now is pretty phenomenal changes in the exact same marketplace, in targeting exact same types of people, okay, in the local area. With a gym, it's a physical location place. There's not too much else targeting wise you can do. All you can do is just better your offering. So things like this, and we're looking at only a $33 a day budget. Like, it's a very small budget in comparison to probably what a lot of other companies are spending. Some probably spending 3, 4, 5, 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month on marketing, right? And especially the ones that do online as well. They're not tied into one area. They've got heaps of salespeople, like Good Life, for example. They'd be spending millions of dollars a month, millions and millions and millions of dollars a month worth of marketing. And these are all things that for you guys, right? You guys can use these same principles. But it's not just, hey, let's just put it out there and just see what happens. You got to have some strategy behind it. You got to do some serious deep thinking on it, which is what we do with every campaign that comes across us. Every company, every brand, they're all slightly different. So with every single brand, company we speak to, it's not just a rinse and repeat process. It's like we've got to do some deep thinking into this area, this company, the economics of the area, the offerings, how to articulate the offerings, what people are looking for. These types of things are really, really important. Okay, what's their biggest fears, frustrations? How can we make it and ease a very simple process from lead to sale? How can we get people to bring the buying cycles forward, right? So they're not spending tens of they're not spending a shitload of time from somebody being generated as a lead to another person like actually signing up. Okay, how can we reduce that time? Because it can always be reduced, by the way. All stuff that we're going to be obviously expanding on in very heavy detail this weekend as well. So if you haven't registered for the bootcamp yet, make sure you do. It's just in the comments, because literally we're going to go into detail into all of these points. We've actually got to wind this one up very shortly because we've got our team sales meeting as well now. So yeah, guys, like, if we've added some value to you today in today's episode in some way, shape, or form, if you found it valuable, maybe it's got you thinking a little bit differently, all we ask is that you just either share the show, type comment into the comments value as well. That would be great. Just to know that we're on the right track and we're offering some value to you here, those of you that are live. Because 2 times a week we're here. It's absolutely free. It costs nothing. We're not getting paid to be here. We just obviously want to come to give back to you guys and give you guys some information that's possibly going to be able to help you think a little bit differently with your sales and marketing activities. And that's what even this weekend is designed to be able to do as well. It's like completely free, no cost, zero. Just basically, how can we help you think a little bit differently? How can we help you generate some better results with your current marketing efforts? And a large percentage of the time, we do cut people's advertising spends in half by just giving them different concepts, ways to say things to include, how to better the offerings, these types of things. Anything we missed for today, Serena?
No, I was just thinking, I put the link in there as well for an appointment with you as well, because, you were talking about, with the offer and everything like that. A lot of people quite don't have how to think outside the box with certain offers, and they're really stuck in their business. So I think having a chat with you, because the biggest thing I see that you're really great at is coming up with ideas around a business, coming up with offers that people wouldn't think of and things like that. So that's why I sort of put that in there. I thought, that would be really beneficial to a lot of people who can't quite get out of the way of their own business.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. So, guys, that's it for today's episode. Make sure that you tune in to the next episode on Monday. If you haven't registered for the Ultimate Business Bootcamp, UBB, it is in the comments. Just go through and register yourself. You'll get sent a Zoom link, the passcodes and all that type of stuff to be able to join too. So it's absolutely free, 2 days. You can leave your credit card behind. It's completely free. Just register with the details below, and it's your choice. You want to get some text message reminders. If you don't, just leave your email. That's fine. So all completely in your court. So on Monday's episode, we're going to have some pretty epic conversations next week as well. I'm going to be sharing just some of the things that we went through with one of our clients' campaigns to finally get their first sale, how we did that as well, some of the troubleshooting stuff that we had with their marketing just recently too, to kind of break through the noise and help them get their first sale online. And that's if you literally haven't got your first sale online yet, make sure you tune in for Monday's episode as well. It is 1 p.m. Perth time, 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. New Zealand time. And it's the same throughout Asia, 1 p.m. Okay, if you're watching from there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for today. Big love. Take it easy. We'll speak soon. See you Monday, or see you this weekend at the Ultimate Business Bootcamp. See you then. Bye.
Bye.